It's not just those real serious, catastrophic type things. We're also talking about just everyday legal events.
What kind of things, if I had a prepaid legal service policy, what kind of things would it cover?
Well, the first thing is the preventive law aspect of it, Mike, and that gives you the ability to pick up the telephone, call a lawyer, call a law firm, and we're talking about top quality lawyers, top quality law firms, and talk to them about anything of a legal nature. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, right now we're going through this subprime lending thing, and a lot of people are having problems out there right now with their mortgages. So if you had a prepaid membership and you're concerned about your mortgage, you're concerned about whether you're going to have a foreclosure, pick up the phone, call the lawyer, get some legal advice, get some legal help on that. Let's just say that you get a traffic ticket. Now, we can't fix tickets. We don't fix tickets. But, again, if you call the lawyer, they're going to give you some help on that. And many times they'll be able to keep those points off of your record, et cetera. We all enter into contracts. We enter into them all the time. You just fax it over. Let them take a look at it for you and tell you what it really covers and what it really doesn't cover.
How about getting a will drawn up? Is this something that prepaid legal lawyers could do under this membership, a will?
It is, Mike, and there's no cost to do it other than the cost of your membership. And what we find is that 70 to 80% of the people, Mike, don't have something as simple and important as a will. As a prepaid member, you have access to the law firm, and you're going to be talking to lawyers that do estate planning, and they're going to do your will for yourself and your family, and there's no cost. In addition to that, you're going to get a power of attorney. You're going to get a health care directive done. You're going to get the living will. All of those things are covered under your membership. And, Mike, they can be updated every year at no cost.
If I was the CEO of a company, or if I was the manager of a company or over human resources, I wonder if this would be something that I could give to my employees as a benefit, or at least give them a chance to hear about it.
Mike, we have over 40,000 companies across North America, across the United States and Canada, that offer this as an employee benefit. Now, when I say employee benefit, it may be a payroll deduction, it may be a fringe benefit, it may be a partial fringe, but many, many companies do offer this to their employees. It's good for the employer because it saves them money, because it gives their people the ability to get their problem solved, to handle. They don't have to take off work. They can take time at a break to call their lawyer to get an answer to situations. So it is a big employee benefit, and that's an area that's really just beginning to break open, that many HR directors, many employers are just beginning to become aware of what a great benefit that they can offer, and it's such a small cost benefit, but it's high visibility.
In '94, we started looking around for a number of benefits we could offer our employees. It's really challenging in today's market to get quality employees, and once you get them, to retain them as employees for a long time. Prepaid legal service fit in just perfect with us.
To provide this benefit to our employees, I wanted to be sure, having been a lawyer, that they were going to get the right lawyer who had the right expertise for the job and would charge the right amount. And with prepaid legal, I don't have to worry about that. They take care of it.
I've seen people over the years at Edge be able to take advantage of prepaid by, for instance, calling an attorney about something that's bothering them and not having an idea prior to the call what their remedies are, and being able to find out what they can do about the situation. And it's nice because they're still here at work. They can sit at their desk and make a brief call, as opposed to having to take maybe half a day vacation and physically leave the office to go work on that. We've seen prepaid is extremely easy to work with. Edge may have a new group of employees that starts over a 60 or 90-day period, and that group can sit down with a representative from prepaid for a brief 20 or 30-minute explanation of what the program is and what the monthly costs are. And the return on investment really works in our people's heads. They see the benefits they get for the low monthly cost, and the program in our company really sells itself. Working with prepaid going forward from that point is easy. There's very little work that's required from an administrative or HR department.
Chickasaw Nation wishes to have healthy employees, whether it be physical health or emotional health. And having the ability to access legal services and knowing that that is possible adds to their emotional well-being. And this is all available through a group plan that we have with Prepaid Legal. We offer prepaid as a benefit to our employees. They pay half the cost and we pay half the cost.
The revolutionary practice of joining customer service with the practice of law was not developed overnight, and it's something that is not taught in law school. But how do you persuade a lawyer to provide service, advice, or even lift a finger for a fee the average person can afford?
The network of provider attorneys across North America are the best law firms available anytime, anywhere for anybody. I'm very proud of the network of provider attorneys that we've put together for Prepaid Legal. My own law firm, I believe it's the best law firm in the state of Oklahoma. And I think all the provider attorneys feel that way about their state and their provinces, that they're the best law firm in their state, in their province. They're quality-conscious, service-oriented law firms. They're user-friendly. They're law firms that have learned to call the member back, help the member with preventive law, help them stay out of trouble before they ever get into trouble. The idea of Prepaid Legal Services making our kinds of law firms, I think very unique and good law firms, available to all the people across this country at a very reasonable rate per month, is the best thing that's happened to the delivery of legal services, both criminal and civil, in the history of the justice system.
This is really what practicing law is all about. It's not just about helping somebody who has enough money to pay you. It's about helping people who have legal issues that just don't know what to do about it. And that's really why we do what we do.
I'm thankful for being associated with Prepaid and being a prepaid lawyer because of the gratification that we get from being able to assist people who wouldn't otherwise have access to attorneys.
It's the wave of the future. I mean, it's the only way to get this thing done in terms of being able to provide quality legal representation for regular, ordinary people. And right now, the system is not very good for being able to make quality legal representation available to ordinary people. It's too expensive, it's too inaccessible, it's too complex, it's too intimidating, it's too threatening. You know, whatever you want to attribute that to, it's very difficult right now. Prepaid Legal Services corrects all that.
Having access to legal counsel for ordinary events is nice, but what if the unexpected occurs? A good legal plan, just like a good health plan or auto coverage, will not only provide access to services, but access to services at an emergency level when necessary.
Harlan, I know there's another product that you're really proud of. It's called Legal Shield. Tell me what that's all about.
We came up with a concept or an idea to give people access to lawyers 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, wherever they might be in emergency situation. Now, we're not talking about calling up and getting your will done at 3 o'clock in the morning. We can do that for you tomorrow. But if you're pulled over on the side of the road, and we know police officers, you know, most of them, they're out there to help us and not to hurt us. But if we're out there being detained and we're being asked questions and maybe the possibility of being taken to jail, right then we'd like to be able to talk to a lawyer. So we came up with a service to where you can do exactly that. Anywhere you are, anytime, we have a 1-800 number that you can call and be put in touch with a lawyer in whatever state you're in at whatever time that you need that lawyer. And we just have so many success stories, how that has helped people by being able to talk to a lawyer at 3 o'clock in the morning. We just think that's one of the greatest benefits that we offer.
This particular time we were on our way out of town going on a business trip, and no sooner than we got to the airport, got a phone call 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, a hysterical teenager shouting that the security was following her out of the mall, and that they came up upon her, snatched her purse, took her purse, dumped it, and accused her of shoplifting. And she had nothing in her purse. She was hysterical and frantic, humiliated in front of everybody in the mall. So she calls me and she's yelling and hollering. I'm telling her to calm down. It's nothing I can do. Call your attorneys. And that she had her legal shield in her pocket. And so at that time, we finally got her to call the attorneys. She called them. They calmed her down. They talked to the security at the mall, and they walked her to her car. And they were very apologetic.
I got a call one night about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. A young man, he was about 23, 24 years old. He'd been stopped by the police because he had neon running lights on his car. So I took the call and I ran down the hall, so I didn't wake up my wife. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. And he said, look, they've stopped me for neon running lights. They want to search my car. And I said to him, okay, have you been drinking? He said, no. I said, are there drugs in the car? He said, no. But he was very nervous, and as an attorney, the first thing you don't want to do is consent to a warrantless search, to a search without probable cause. So I said to him, okay, let me talk to the officer. So he hands the phone to the officer, and I said, officer, you've stopped this young man for neon running lights. He goes, yeah. I said, that's illegal? He said, where did you go to law school? You don't know that? I said, look, when I went to law school, they taught me about important things like contracts and murder. I said, now you tell me the probable cause for searching this car, for giving him a field sobriety test, for giving him the breathalyzer. And he said, look, I have the right to do this. I stopped him. I suspect it. I said, then good. Then you tell me how you're going to respond to the civil rights case we're going to file after the warrantless search. This is a violation of his constitutional rights. I said, now give me back the phone and let me instruct my client. So I got the kid on the phone. He was a young man. He was terrified. I said to him, look, I have already told the officer I'm not consenting to the search, but you have to be the one to tell him that you're not going to consent to the search, you're not going to take a field sobriety test, and you're not going to take the breathalyzer. At that point, the young man sounded kind of distracted, and I heard him say, thank you. And I said, what's going on? He said, the cop just gave me back my license. He's walking back to his squad car.
Identity theft is everywhere we turn. It's the fastest growing white-collar crime in America. On the news, the radio, in the papers, credit card companies have even made entertaining commercials about it. But for someone who's experienced it, it's not a laughing matter. Chances are you've been affected by identity theft, or you know someone who has. What the commercials and ads don't tell us is how identity theft is not only about credit card numbers and online shopping. That's only the tip of the iceberg.
One of the biggest problems today for consumers across North America is the concept that's hard to understand. It's a crime called identity theft, where someone steals your identity. And it's hard to understand until you become a victim of it, and then you understand that your life is literally turned upside down. Prepaid Legal offers a very unique coverage. And speaking as a former Attorney General, I know that Prepaid Legal can do for its members what the Attorney Generals of America would like to do, but cannot do because they don't have the staff to help these individuals one by one by one by one. And that's where the coverage that Prepaid Legal offers in identity theft is unique and special, and I think worth having.
The fact is, we're all at risk. It's easy to steal your personal information. The only thing you can do is take action to reduce your risk and prepare for the possibilities. The same company that pioneered the legal service plan in the United States also makes available to the public the Identity Theft Shield.
Well, Prepaid Legal does another thing for the ordinary citizen. It turns the powerless into the powerful. If you have a prepaid legal policy, you become empowered. Yeah. You learn what your rights are. And whether it's a little bitty case that's really important to you, like you're about to have your rent raised, or maybe you're going to get evicted from your house, or maybe something very serious like they're going to foreclose on your mortgage. If you have a prepaid legal policy, you call that prepaid legal lawyer. They're going to tell you what your rights are. Then you become a little bit more powerful. So it's a very, very potent weapon against those who are trying to do you wrong. So basically, prepaid legal has become this big key that unlocks access to justice.
Exactly.